Dear students, so yesterday exchange of gases we have completed. The diagrammatic representation is there. I will give you the diagram. You carefully note down. This is also important for diagrammatic type questions in the NEET. So this is alveolus. Alveolar air, alveolar air PO2 and PCO2 we have to mention. PO2 104 mm mercury, PCO2 40 mm mercury in the alveolar air. So here the heart is there, heart lies here at this junction. From this one blood vessel comes and enters into the left atrium. This is pulmonary vein. Yesterday exchanges two types I have already given. Two types of exchanges, pulmonary exchange and systematic exchange. So this is pulmonary vein collecting blood from lungs to the bringing to the heart, pure blood. Pulmonary vein contains oxygenated blood, means towards left side of the heart always, left part of the body always oxygenated blood, pure blood. This diagram is important. Here tissues are there. These are the cells. Cells means tissues. In the tissues, PO2 is 40 mm mercury, PCO2 is 45 mm mercury. Already we have given the table. Here also we have to mention. And from this left ventricle, another blood vessel comes and getting down ends at the tissues. Ends at the tissues. This is called systemic arteries or simply systemic artery. This also contain oxygenated blood. Oxygenated blood. Oxygenated blood PO2 95 mm mercury, PCO2 40 mm mercury. So how this exchange of gases takes place? Like this, you have to take this diagram. And from the right ventricle, the another blood vessel comes out, is pulmonary artery, which brings the deoxygenated blood to the lungs. Deoxygenated blood to the lungs. This is pulmonary artery. Left side pulmonary vein, but for viewers it is right side, but for the human beings like this, if you see, this is left side, this is right side. Pulmonary artery. And again from the another blood vessel enters into the right atrium and starting from tissues, here it is ending like this. This is called systemic vein. Systemic veins and systemic arteries. This diagram is very important. So here it carries deoxygenated blood. Deoxygenated blood means impure blood. In the deoxygenated blood, what are the PO2 and PCO2? PO2 is 40 mm mercury and PCO2 is 45 mm mercury as it is in the tissues. The tissues same, PO2 40 mm and PCO2 45 mm mercury. This is the reason why exchange of gases takes place, due to the pressure gradients in different areas. This is pressure gradient. Left side is pure blood, oxygenated blood. Right side is pulmonary artery also carries deoxygenated blood. Here, if you put arrow mark outside, this is expired air. Expired air means coming out of lungs with CO2. This is expired air. And another arrow goes inside of the lungs, that is alveoli. This is inspired air. Inspired air with CO2. These are also must be, you have to carefully note it down. Carefully note down this diagram also. Alveolus. This is alveolus. So this is very important diagram. In the diagrammatic representation question, I will wait. You take this, complete in, I think already you are drawing. If it is completed, I will give you 2 minutes, another 2 minutes time. You can also label here, this part is heart. This is pulmonary exchange and this is systemic exchange. This part is up to this. From this area to this area, systemic exchange. From this area to heart to lungs, pulmonary exchange. Again heart to body parts, systemic exchange. Like that also you can write down. Okay. Let us pass on to the next page. Transport of gases. This is very important chapter. Very important event in the respiratory system. Transport of gases, that is O2 and CO2. So now let us take the transport occurs through blood. So the transporting agent is is blood. These gases are transported either through plasma of blood or through RBC of blood. This is the introductory sentence. Now let us start this transport of O2 and CO2. First let us take the heading transport of O2. Already we have mentioned through two areas in the blood these are transported, through plasma in a dissolved condition and through RBC. So transport of O2, first heading is oxygen transport. 3% of oxygen O2 is transported through plasma in a dissolved state. In a dissolved condition or in a dissolved state. %3 of O2. But 97% of O2 is transported. Respiratory system, some numerical status are there, like digestive system. 97% of O2 is transported through RBC. Red blood cells through RBC. So this is unaccountable and ignorable, but this is most important to take into consideration. 97% of O2 is transported through RBC. How it is transported? There is a carrier of respiratory gases in the RBC. That pigment, respiratory pigment present in the RBC is most important transport agent. Respiratory pigment in RBC is, you all know pretty well, the purplish bluish red colored hemoglobin. Hemoglobin shortcut, in the brackets you write down HB. 97% of O2 is transported through RBC. In this, the respiratory pigment is, in RBC, is hemoglobin. One molecule of hemoglobin carries 4 molecules of oxygen. You remember this point. It binds with the iron containing part of the hemoglobin. Heme is the iron containing part to which the oxygen is binding. So 4 molecules of O2. One molecule of hemoglobin carries 4 molecules of O2. Another numerical status. I had already told you numerical status is there. So that's why. Then 100 ml of oxygenated blood delivers 100 ml of oxygenated blood delivers 5 ml of oxygen. The same 100 ml of deoxygenated blood, this is oxygenated. Oxygenated blood only contains oxygen. In the same way, 100 ml of at the CO2 transport, again I will tell this point, but here it is there, comparability is there. That's why 100 ml of deoxygenated blood delivers 4 ml of CO2. This is 5 ml of O2. So this numerical status, remember, carefully. Hemoglobin is purplish, bluish, red in color. Without joining with oxygen. After joining with oxygen, after combining with oxygen, after binding with oxygen, it is changed into bright red color. So bright red color is due to the adding of O2, binding of O2 with hemoglobin. Then the purplish, bluish, red colored hemoglobin is converted into bright red colored blood. So blood is bright red color. When the bright red color is there, your body is purifying your blood like anything. That respiratory capacity is there, inhalation capacity is there, and inspiration capacity is there to inhale the more and more oxygen and purify the blood. So Hb is purplish, bluish, red in color. When it binds with better let us go back to the another page because this is very narrow. Binding of oxygen with Hb converted into oxyhemoglobin. Oxyhemoglobin. In a reversible manner it is formed, oxyhemoglobin, this reaction in reversible manner, because in tissues here oxygen is associated with hemoglobin, in the tissues oxygen is dissociated in a reversible manner. The reaction is Hb plus 4O2 is giving rise to, put like this, Hb O2 4. This is oxyhemoglobin. So thus O2 is transported to the tissues. For the binding of oxygen with hemoglobin requires the following factors. What are the factors required for the binding of O2 with hemoglobin? This is physiology actually, hence try to follow the step by step events so that you can understand, otherwise you will be missing somewhere. So factors required for the binding of O2 with Hb are, because binding of O2 with Hb takes place at what site? In alveoli. In alveoli only O2 binds with hemoglobin. Exchange of O2 takes place between alveoli and pulmonary capillaries. Pulmonary capillaries contain blood, blood contain RBC, RBC contain hemoglobin. So thus factors required for the binding of O2 with hemoglobin are: A. High PO2. You all know what is high PO2. High partial pressure of oxygen. Whenever the partial pressure of oxygen is more, then only it combines with hemoglobin. It binds with hemoglobin, otherwise it won't bind. In the tissues, reverse. Partial pressure is very less. Hence, the oxygen dissociates from hemoglobin and released into the tissues. That is essential there, because tissues require oxygen for cellular activities. That's why there the low PO2 is there. Low PO2 helps in the dissociation of O2 from hemoglobin. Here association occurs. So for the association of oxygen with hemoglobin, the factors required are high PO2, high pH, low hydrogen ion concentration, low hydrogen ion concentration. When the hydrogen ion concentration is lesser, the pH is more. When the hydrogen ion concentration is greater or more, then the pH is low. So as the low hydrogen ion concentration, that's why pH is more. High PO2, high pH, low hydrogen ion concentration, low PCO2 means low partial pressure of carbon dioxide alveolar air. Before diagram you have seen in the alveolar air. What is the partial PO2? 104 mm mercury. PCO2 40 mm mercury, because low PCO2. When the PCO2 is lesser, automatically temperature is reduced. When the CO2 increases, temperature increases. When the CO2 decreases, already you all know this physiological reason, temperature decreases. Low PCO2, hence temperature is low. So these are the factors essential for the association of O2 with hemoglobin. Remember this statement type question, most important. It will be occurred reverse in the tissues. So at this is in the alveoli are required with hemoglobin. Better you say here, then so that you can easily in alveoli or like that you say. So that is the binding of oxygen with hemoglobin, thus oxyhemoglobin is formed. When the oxyhemoglobin is formed, it will be bright red in color. Oxyhemoglobin, as long as it is there, it is bright red in color. That's why the venous blood is purplish bluish red. Venous blood, veins, blood flows through the veins. But whereas the blood flows through arteries, carries oxygenated blood, hence it is bright red in color. You take the blood and see the difference. So this is the O2 binding. O2 binds with hemoglobin. It is okay, but should be transported to tissues. How it occurs, let us see in the next page. O2 must be dissociated. For that purpose, O2 dissociation curve. O2 dissociation curve. Graphical representation is there. So that's why, okay. Ramanjita, tell me. Ask me.
Sir,
Ah,
actually hemoglobin is called as red pigment.
hemoglobin.
Hemoglobin is red pigments, but does it have any function in human body or
Definitely. It is a carrier of respiratory gases. When it combines with O2 in the form of oxyhemoglobin, it is carried to the tissues. In the tissues, it combines with CO2. What is the sound disturbed? Sound is.
Thank you, sir.
Right. Now O2 dissociation curve. Let us follow this. Where the O2 is released into the tissues, thus O2 is transported. For this, what is the definition of O2 dissociation curve? Relationship between percentage saturation. So a new phrase you are hearing now, percentage saturation of hemoglobin. And the PO2. PO2 means partial pressure of oxygen, is called O2 dissociation curve. O2 dissociation curve. Thus you have to define the O2 dissociation curve. Relationship between percentage saturation of hemoglobin and partial pressure of oxygen is called the O2 dissociation curve. So that is represented in graph, y-axis and x-axis. This is y-axis. Here partial pressure is plotted on x-axis and percentage saturation of hemoglobin is plotted on y-axis. Like this, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Diagram carefully note down, because this diagram should draw in the 2 marks question. It is given in the 2 marks question. That's why you take this graph 60, 70, 80. And 100. Here also, this side also same, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 and 100. This is y-axis. So here if you plot, you can obtain sigmoid curve. Sigmoid curve. You can obtain sigmoid curve if the percentage saturation of hemoglobin plotted against PO2, you can obtain that sigmoid curve. So this is the sigmoid curve. The pH is 7.4. This is sigmoid curve. This O2 dissociation curve is given for the 2 marks question. So factors, how they are, sometimes if the pH increases in tissues level, pH becomes 7.6 above, 7.4 above, or sometimes is reduced to 7.2 also, low pH. So low pH allows the dissociation of O2 from high hemoglobin and released into the tissues, because tissues require O2 for metabolic activities. This is O2 dissociation curve. Original curve is this one, sigmoid curve, pH 7 point. When the pH increases, it goes upwards. When the pH decreases, it shifts towards the right side, falling down and for releasing oxygen into the tissues. This is important. pH 7 point, low pH is required. So, the factors responsible or required for the dissociation of O2 from hemoglobin in the tissues, previously in the alveoli, in the tissues are one by one. Let us take this. A, low PO2, tissues in which PO2 is low, 40 mm mercury. Low pH, high hydrogen ion concentration, because the greater the hydrogen ion concentration, the lesser the pH. The lesser the hydrogen ion concentration, the greater the pH. So high hydrogen ion concentration, high PCO2, here also same, more is the PCO2, more is the temperature. Less is the PCO2, lesser is the temperature. So high temperature, these 5 factors, almost reverse of the O2 association. During O2 association, what are the factors? Back page we have mentioned. What are the factors? First one is high PO2, high pH, low PCO2, low hydrogen ion concentration, low temperature. There. Here, for dissociation of O2, why it should be dissociated? The O2 must be released into the tissues for the cellular activities. Just now I told you. So, these are the factors essential. Anyhow, low PO2 is there in the tissues, 40 mm mercury. When the higher hydrogen ion concentration is there, pH automatically reduced, low pH. High PCO2, then temperature also increases. So gradually this sigmoid curve shifted towards the right side to dissociate the oxygen from hemoglobin and release into the tissues. Thus O2 transported. So this O2 dissociation curve is a very important diagrammatic purpose. This diagram should be drawn for 2 marks question. Okay? So this is. Now, the effect of PCO2 and hydrogen ion concentration on the affinity of hemoglobin, effect of PCO2 and hydrogen ion concentration on the affinity of hemoglobin. This is on the binding capacity of hemoglobin, on the binding of capacity of oxygen with hemoglobin, so on the affinity of O2 with hemoglobin. Write down like that. is called Bohr's effect, BOHR. This is also for 2 marks question. Bohr is a scientist. So on the name of the scientist you should say it is this event explained by Bohr. Hence it is Bohr's effect. 2 marks question. Write down like this. Simple answer. Effect of PCO2, partial pressure of carbon dioxide, and hydrogen ion concentration on the affinity of O2 with hemoglobin is called Bohr's effect. Because the higher the concentration of PCO2 and higher the concentration of hydrogen ions, never allows the association of O2 with the hemoglobin. So affinity of oxygen with hemoglobin is greatly reduced. That is called Bohr's effect. This is O2 transport. And then second respiratory gas is CO2. So actually there is no time. Tomorrow we can go for that. So let us stop today. Okay, raise your hands. Today only 5 hours. Chinmayi always absent. Bhavya, okay. Anushka, Jaya, Ramanjita and SSV. SSV, any doubts? SSV. Raise your hand, SSV. You are not there. You are there. Okay. Ask me.
Sir, nothing, sir. Everything is clear.
Very nice, Anna. Very nice. Always you say like that. It's very nice. So, Anushka. Anushka. Okay, ma. Is it okay? Hello? Anushka. Anushka. You are raising your hand but you are not speaking. What you are asking? Hello? Hello? Okay. Time is over. Tomorrow we can meet. Take care. Wash your hands. Take safety measures. You are at home. Beware of yourself. All the best. God bless you. You can stop now. అయిపోయింది. ఇదా కెమెరా అన్నారు.